And hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Class is in session once again, and I'm excited about this class. This is the first time we've done a class designated to just one platform, so I am excited about this one. And it is that time. It is 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm excited you guys could be with us for our class for today. I also will be announcing the classes for the month of March. Initially, we were only having one class, but we are going to be having two classes now. One that is by popular demand on podcasting. I'll be announcing that at the end of our broadcast today. So, for those who are here for the LinkedIn class, welcome to you guys. Glad you could be with us. This is going to be jam packed with information. I have my bullet points already here that we're going to be covering. I also have them with this broadcast. I just want to make sure you guys can see them. Oh, I know what I did. What I did was in the group, I went ahead and tagged them as a feature inside the group so you guys can be able to see the points that we're going to be covering in our class for today. I'm going to go on the Facebook group real quick to make sure you guys can see those there as well. Yeah, so if you guys go to the featured section, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for you guys, you will be able to see I've already posted inside of the group here. You'll see I've already have it featured here, the points that we're going to be covering in our class for today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can copy that and put it on the broadcast as well. Now, like for those who are joining us live, I want to say to you what I always say to you, and that is to make sure you guys are being very selfish in this class. So, yes, we are here to talk about all things LinkedIn, and there's a lot to be able to cover. So, you guys can see it actually, you see it there too. I actually have the points listed with this video. So, you guys should be able to see them there as well. Hey, Midnight Ace Book Bar, hope all is well with you. I'm going to post them here for you guys as well in the chat. So you can be able to see them there. Hello to you, Don. Good to be able to see you as well. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so I'm excited about this class, guys, because there are so many things about LinkedIn. Quite honestly, I don't think people know. And there are so many hidden gems that are there that I don't think people are taking advantage of. And I think part of the problem of what's happened with LinkedIn is that we have forgotten the purpose of it. Now, I do want to say a couple things as we begin this class. And again, this class is all about LinkedIn. That's the only platform we're talking about, how to be able to best make the use of it, how to be able to know what to post there, how you guys can start making connections, get jobs. I've gotten speaking engagements through LinkedIn. I've been offered podcast opportunities through LinkedIn, and you guys can be able to do the exact same thing. What happens though is that people forget what LinkedIn was created for. So, hey, Todd's going to be able to see you as well. So, what I want to do is to kind of in the beginning here remind you of the purpose of LinkedIn, to tell you the type of content that does work here, that does not work, what you should be able to really dive into, and the importance of using your insights and your engagement. Because the great thing is, each one of us are able to see exactly. I was looking at mine today to see what type of engagement we get. I will talk to you about my own posting strategy on LinkedIn and then help you to be able to craft what may work best for you. Now, as I always say, and I was saying it earlier, be selfish in today's class. So if you guys have a question that is outside of LinkedIn and you're joining us live, put those questions in the chat. As time permits, I will be able to answer those for you. So if you do have a question about another social media platform or anything else we've covered in our previous classes, make sure you put those in the chat. I'll be glad to be able to answer those as time permits. Okay? All right, let's jump right in. So, first of all, what is the importance of LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a professional platform, but what LinkedIn wants to do, it wants you to look at as the grown up of Facebook and the grown up of Twitter. That is the as of right now, that is what LinkedIn wants. And the reason why it wants that is because it wants to be able to get some of that same engagement and attention that Facebook and Twitter have gotten. And I'm mentioning those two for a reason, and not Instagram, not Threads, not TikTok, which I'm not personally involved with because of my relationship with Meta. But you really need to think about LinkedIn as the grown up of Facebook and Twitter. And I'm going to tell you why. What LinkedIn wants to do at this point in 2024, they really started doing this in 2022, guys, to be quite honest with you, is they want to be able to bring all the things you love about Twitter and Facebook, bring it to their platform. And to be quite honest, they've been doing a really good job at it. What has failed, though, and they realize that, which is why people like myself are now working with them. And I do now work with them as far as helping with some of the content creation. I'll be telling you guys more about that at the end, is that people don't know about the features because they have not done a very good job of promoting it. Okay. So that's what my job here today is for you guys, to let you know what platforms and features are available on LinkedIn for you to be able to look at your own particular business brand, what you want to be able to build, and then see what works best for you. There's a very important thing, though, mistake that people make that I do not want you guys to make. Do not treat LinkedIn like Facebook and Twitter. Now, notice I said it wants to be looked at as the grown-up of Facebook and Twitter. It does not want you to treat it like those sites because, again, it wants to be the adult in the room. What does that mean? That means the type of content you should be creating on LinkedIn should serve three different purposes. These are very important, okay? One, showcasing you as an authority. Okay, I'm going to tell you why that's important a little bit later. One, showcasing you as an authority. Two, showcasing you as a person that is a thought leader or has information that other people can benefit from. That is being done in the comment section as well as in the article section. We're going to talk more about that here in a bit. And third thing, what services you have available that other people may want. And the third thing is the funny thing. And I bet if you guys are really honest with yourselves, you don't think about this. A lot of times people think about LinkedIn and they think, oh, well, I don't need LinkedIn because I don't want people to think that I'm looking for a job. That is the wrong way to look at LinkedIn. That is the wrong way to look at LinkedIn. You should be looking at LinkedIn and saying, I want people to know what services they can hire me for. It's not about you being hired to work for someone else. It's for someone else to hire you for the services you have to offer. That is a big light bulb shift. And I think that's what has messed people up when it comes to LinkedIn, because they automatically think, I don't need to be on LinkedIn because I'm not looking for a job. Instead of thinking, I have a service that someone on LinkedIn may need. You know? So put in the comment section if you have thought that way. If you have thought that LinkedIn is only for looking for a job or changing a job, put in the comment section and let me know if you have thought that way. Because the majority of people, that's why they're not effectively using LinkedIn, because they're thinking LinkedIn is about me looking. I don't want to be looking like I'm looking for a job. But that's the exact wrong way to be able to look at it. You should be looking at it as a business, a product and service provider, as someone who has something someone else can use. Todd says in the beginning, yes. And that's a very common thing. So don't feel like you're the only one. Minae's Book Bar says, in the past, I did think that. Yeah, and that's the thing. It is a big shift. It's a big shift to think, okay, I don't want people to think I'm looking for a job. You should be thinking instead, okay, I have something that other people can benefit from. Now, if you notice in the points that I have here, that's why we have the 7 points we're going to be covering in our class for today. And if you're able to do these effectively, and I'm going to be sharing my screen so you guys can literally see on my account what works and where I have purposely decided to make some changes on my own LinkedIn, and what you need to know about how you can set up yours for success, okay? So the first thing is, as you guys notice, the first thing is to make sure you have your intent clear. What does that mean? That means that you need to know exactly why you're on this platform. Now, the biggest mistake you guys can make when it comes to posting on LinkedIn, let me just start with the posting part, is to treat it, as I mentioned earlier, like you treat Facebook, like you treat Twitter, like you treat Instagram. In other words, the whole copying and pasting thing is not going to work for you on LinkedIn, especially if the content that you're creating does not identify you as an authority, show exactly what you have that people may want, or at least allow people to know what you have to offer. So you'll notice with myself, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, I am very intentional in the way that I use LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys. You guys can see my LinkedIn here. Go to my profile. And we're going to walk through this whole thing so that you can make sure that you have your LinkedIn profile set up for success. I kid you not, every week, in fact, it just happened last week, had someone reach out to me because they were looking for a remote podcast host. Well, guess what? I'm a remote podcast host. So I was a perfect fit for them. Now, here's the thing. How do they know that I'm a remote podcast host? It's because it says it right here on my profile. It says open to work podcast host and podcast roles. Now, here's the question you have to ask yourself. Have you made your intent clear on the LinkedIn platform? And again, keep in mind, be selfish with this. If you see something here that we're talking about, you have a question about, put it in the comment section. I'll definitely come to it. Because again, if your profile is not set up correctly, those are going to be missed opportunities, missed connections, and missed dollars that you could be actually getting for yourself. Okay. So again, the first point is to make sure you have your intent clear. I'm very intentional on LinkedIn, and notice my LinkedIn is probably the most quote unquote professional of all of my other social media. I do, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Threads, every day, 7 days a week, I post my morning messages right from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. But look at my profile here on LinkedIn. I'm gonna go to my post and let you guys see this. You will not find any motivational post on my LinkedIn. You will only see my Amazon Live show, this Amazon Live show, my Amazon Live show, my Amazon Live show, my Amazon Live show, my news, that is here. That's me sharing a post. That's engagement. We're going to get into that. That's me sharing a post from Taz there. That is engagement. Again, my show here, that's Taz there, my interview with her. Now, so what are you noticing just by this? The first thing is I'm not using LinkedIn to regurgitate what I'm posting everywhere else. Okay? That's why I said, if you notice, remember what I said in the very beginning, you have to get this through. They want to be seen as the grown-up in the room. So I'm not going to be posting my motivational messages. For one, another thing I can tell you about my own posting strategy, I only post on LinkedIn Monday through Friday. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think I only post on LinkedIn? That's the only platform I don't post on 7 days a week. I post on Facebook 7 days a week. I post on Instagram 7 days a week. I post on Twitter 7 days a week. I post on Threads 7 days a week. LinkedIn is the only platform that do not post 7 days a week. You want to know why? Because I realize my audience on LinkedIn is not active on the weekends. So I don't post on the weekends. If you'll notice, all of these posts are Monday through Friday. That's what I do these posts. You don't see me doing posts on weekends. See, Friday. You don't see me Thursday. You don't see me doing posts on LinkedIn on weekends because I know my audience, the audience I have built, my 3,247 followers that I have here, that they are not active with my content on the weekends. So I don't post my content on the weekends. So the question is to you, have you looked at the history of your followers to get an idea of when's the best time for you to be posting? Now, this is what I will also say to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. We're going to come back here. What I will say to you is this, and I say this, I've said this in other classes, but it's true on LinkedIn too. You can easily fall through a rabbit hole because LinkedIn can draw you in. Okay, just like any other social media platform. It is now you need to be thinking about LinkedIn as another social media platform. But remember the advice I've given you guys on other social media platforms, and that is do not try to post the way I post. I can, because of my scheduling and because of what I do, I can post 7 days a week, 2 or 3 times a day on every platform of LinkedIn and post 2 or 3 times, a day on LinkedIn Monday through Friday. I can do that. Now, what I would say to you is think about again your intent. What is your intent of using LinkedIn? Because that will determine how often you post and what you post. Do I think you should be posting 7 days a week on LinkedIn? Absolutely not. Do I think you should be posting 5 days a week on LinkedIn? That will depend on the content that you are sharing and how much attention you're giving to the insights you're given. Now, the great thing about LinkedIn, just like on Instagram, just like on Facebook, it literally allows you to see on each and every post what your engagement is like. If you see a certain type of content is getting a lot of engagement on LinkedIn, that is the algorithm telling you that the followers you currently have like this particular type of content. So here's the thing. I personally know my audience likes to see me on camera. My audience on LinkedIn likes to see pictures of me, which is why you see in the content, you see either video of me, we're going to get into that a little bit later, or you see pictures of me because my audience likes that connection with me visually. So then that's why I don't post my book because they're not looking for inspiration from me. That's not what they're looking for. My audience on LinkedIn, my audience, and that's why you have to know for yourself. My audience on LinkedIn is looking for information from my guest, both for the radio show and for my Amazon Live show, as well as for news, which is, I'm a news director for the radio station here, and I do a podcast news Monday through Friday. That does very well on LinkedIn. Okay. So that's what I know about my audience. So that's why I can say on weekends, I can take a break from LinkedIn because I know my audience is not expecting me there for what they're used to getting from me. Okay. Let's see. Midnight Ace Book Bar says, I'm new to the platform and have only been sharing my reviews there. Okay. Midnight Ace Book Bar, that's good. We're going to get into how you can make that more effective. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can make the most of that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But I'm going to give you some tips on how you can make the most of that. Teresa says, what would I list as what I am open to working for given my platform? Great question. Again, like I told you guys, if you're joining us live, be very selfish. Ask questions for you in particular so I can answer those for you. We have 10 people that signed up for this particular class. 4 of you guys are on live. Definitely feel free to put your questions in there because that's what we're here for you guys. So Teresa, for you. Oh, so you know what? Let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen again so you can see the. Before I do that, hold on. I just thought about something. How many of you, before I show Taz this, because actually you will only be able to do what I'm about to show you if you have changed your account to creator mode. You may remember I asked you guys about that on a Facebook post recently. Have you made your LinkedIn a creator mode account? If you have, like you've done your Facebook account, that's going to open you up to other things that you can be able to list. So have you guys all, that's a question for you. Have you turned your LinkedIn page into a creator page? Now, if you're wondering, how do I do that? Okay, let me show you that part before I answer Taz's question, because that's going to be important. I'm going to share my screen again for you guys, going over to LinkedIn. Now, how do you know if your account is a creator account? Okay, you want to go to me. You'll see it under here if you're logged in. Go to me. Okay, you go to you see it's going to say view profile, your posting activities. Now, you can see this in 2 different places. So let's go to settings and privacy. Okay, so settings and privacy, that's where we are here. Now, here you can be able to see exactly what you have set up on your account. Okay, so the information that I have set up, anything that I'm verified on, that kind of thing. Okay, now if you go back and you go to your posting, where it says under manage, go to post and activity. If you'll look under, let's see, make sure I did it there, post and activity. Okay, so post and activity, that's where it's going to show you your most recent post and everything that you've done there. Okay, so these are my most recent posts that I have done here under post and activity. Now, go up to where it says view profile. That's going to show you all the things that you insert, Taz, including what you're asking me about here. So go to view profile, okay? And you'll scroll down. Now, you'll see where it says here under resources, creator mode on. So what you want to make sure, now again, remember how we got here, guys. So you're going to go into your LinkedIn, click on me, then go to view profile. Okay. So this is your view of the profile, not what the people will see. You see your first area there, and Taz, this is what you're talking about. We're going to get into that. Underneath analytics, you'll see where it says resources, and you should see either creator mode on or off. I would recommend you turn that creator mode on. That's going to give you added benefits for your account. It doesn't cost you anything. This is totally free. It's a free service, just like on Facebook. So make sure you have your creator mode on, like I have here. Okay? So make sure that is on. All right, everyone got that? Okay, now for Taz, what she was asking about, this is where you want to try to look at what works for you. Now, underneath where it has your name and everything, and we're going to talk about your profile here in just a bit, where that's point number 2. We're still on point number 1, guys. We're going to talk about that in point number 2. But if you go to underneath where your picture is, notice what it says there, open to work. Now, here's the thing. Why does it say that on my profile? Well, it says that because I have here, I'm open to work. Okay. So what you're going to do is go to either open to work or providing services. If I go to open to work, I'm just going to click on that. So this is where, Taz, you can play with it. Okay. You can edit job performance preferences. You see, I have podcast host and podcaster. I have that I can work hybrid or remote. I don't do on site because I'm not traveling. I have, notice it says on site, you have locations. You can put whatever locations you want there if it's multiple cities. Remote, I put United States. You keep it as broad as possible there. Now, Taz, what you're asking is for title, okay? So I'm going to click on title, and what you do is you start typing. So let's just say, I don't know if this is even in here. I'm testing this with you guys live. I'm going to type in to see if it has media personality, right? So let me just type in media and see what comes up. Okay, media specialist, social media design. So see, it's going to start filling in for you what social media ambassador, social media coordinator, media consultant. So here are some options, media planner. So Taz, a lot of these will fit you actually. You could actually do, like, let's just say if you chose to do media, you could do something like a social media ambassador. In fact, I can click that one too. Yeah, I can click social media ambassador as well. But of course, you know, if you have something like podcast, if you want to put podcast in there, of course, anything that's open for podcasts, you have that there. See, podcast producer is there. Midnight Ace book bar for you. Let's just type in books and see what comes up. Okay. Now for books, there's nothing there in that section. That's bookstore owner, bookstore manager, bookseller. So let's try reviews. See, look at that, Midnight's book bar, book reviewer. That's one for you. Content reviewer, if that's something you want to do. But definitely book reviewer fits you. And even you can choose the broader one, reviewer. But you see why this is so important, guys? Because it allows you to be able to easily to let people know what you're available for. Let me see what you guys are saying, if you guys are saying anything. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. And again, these are free tools, but you just have to turn them on. Let me know. Let me know yes or no if that makes sense for you. Does that make sense for you guys? Melissa says, "Hey, Melissa, good to be able to see you." Melissa says, "Yes." Okay. So again, what you want to do is make sure you have your intention clear. Now, yeah, Melissa, I didn't realize you were here live. So, like for you, let's see if it has Event Planner in there. Let's just test it and see if it has Event Planner. So I'm going to take off Social Media Ambassador, try and type in Event Planner. Look at that, Melissa. Event Planner, Event Planning Specialist, Wedding Event Planner. See, look at all those. You can choose more than one. You can choose up to 5. So see, Director of Event Planning. So see, that all these are little hidden gems that will make it easier for people to find you. And again, it goes to remembering what we're talking about here. I'm sorry, I wasn't showing my screen. I'm sorry. Okay, I have about 3 on my profile. Okay, Melissa says she has 3 on her profile. Midnight's Book Bar says having technical issues. It makes sense. Okay, good. All right, so here's the thing, guys. The main thing here is to remember the point I made in the very beginning. You have to change your mindset about LinkedIn. Stop looking at LinkedIn as a place where you're looking to be hired for a job. Look at it as a place where someone is looking to hire you. It sounds like the same thing, but it's totally different because you're showing up as the authority. You're saying, I am this. Who needs me? And like I said, almost every week, I have people reach out to me saying, hey, I'm looking for a remote podcast host. Hey, how much is it for this? We have this available. We have this writing assignment available. Let's see. Melissa says, do you select recruitment or LinkedIn members? Okay, Melissa, help me out there. I'm not sure what you're talking about because we haven't talked about either one. I mean, recruiter. I do not think I understand the question because we're not actually selecting either one of those. These are all under your profile. Like, let me share my screen again. And if you don't mind, type some more, Melissa, to kind of help me understand. I'm not really sure. So let's just recap really quick. So the way we got here was you go to me, okay? You go to view profile. Under view profile, that's where it's going to show your picture, your cover photo, and shows here that you're open to work or providing services. So it's not anything about recruiting or anything there, Melissa. It's only in this section right underneath your name and everything. So you're able to do open to work or providing services. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about there. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Todd says, so I am selecting a social media ambassador, podcast producer, podcast host. So for those of us who are employed traditionally, using the titles I use, lets my employer and others know this is a service I'm providing, not that I'm looking for a job. Exactly, Todd. That is exactly right. It's not going to show up like you're applying for a job because you're not applying for a job. If you're applying for a job, you'll be applying to a particular company. These are letting people know what your points of interest and specialties are that they can be able to use you for. Melissa says it's under when you choose open to work and start adding things. Okay, but yeah, you don't need any one of those. You don't need to do, let's see, let me go back here. So, okay, I think I understand what you're saying, Melissa. Let me go back and share my screen again. Okay, so when you start doing this part, so we talked about the location type. I do hybrid and remote. I do not do on-site. Okay. Now underneath there, okay, so then, okay, okay, now I understand, Melissa. So yes, visibility for all LinkedIn members. That's what you want to do because you don't want just for recruiters. You want all LinkedIn members. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Okay. Yeah, all LinkedIn members is what I would say. Yeah, all LinkedIn members. Okay, now let's talk about setting up your profile. Now, for you guys out there, I want you guys to really think about how my profile is set up. Keep in mind, there are big differences because this is the grown up. Remember, we keep talking about that, the grown up of social media. So you are not going to be using hashtags. Remember, in our other descriptions and everything, we use hashtags on Facebook, we use hashtags on Twitter, we use hashtags on Instagram, on Threads. We are not using hashtags when it comes to our profile at all. Okay? Now, here are the things that LinkedIn has told us that they want. So make sure you have this. You should have a clear picture of yourself uploaded with no one else in it. It should only be a picture of you. Okay? Your cover photo can be whatever you want. I have one of my quotes here from mine. But for your profile picture, the profile picture should only be you. Okay? Now, underneath that, that's where you're able to set up who you are. So you have the little pencil here. So I have my name, Cyrus Webb. Okay? I don't do the whole pronouns thing. Nothing against that if people choose to do that. I mean, I know I'm a guy. People can look at me and tell I'm a guy. I don't get into the whole on any of my social media. Again, nothing toward anyone who chooses to do that. I just don't personally do it. Okay. And so my headline is host, executive producer of Conversations Live radio show. And that's what appears on my page. Okay. You can click the box there to show current company in my intro, which I do. Industry is entertainment. Okay. Now, what I can be able to do, you can be able to change this to media and see what comes up. So I'm going to change mine now to broadcast media production and distribution. You see how easy you're able to do that? Your education, your location. I have my location selected there. Now, once you get this part done, go to contact info. Now, this is very important here, guys. I'm going to click on edit contact info. Now, make sure that your profile URL has your name in it. If it does not, you need to make sure it does. So as you can see, mine says linkedin.com/in/Cyrus Webb. So make sure you have your name in your URL because you have a personalized URL that you can send people to, okay? Make sure you have that set to your name. All right, you have your email. Of course, I have my trusty Juno there. Phone number. I don't use my address. I also do not share my birthday publicly because I don't like to have all the happy birthday messages on my social media. So I have that set to private on all of mine. Now, you can have it set to public if you choose to. I have mine set to only to private because I don't like all the happy, because then you have to go back and respond to people. I just don't personally do that. But if you want to do it, have at it. Website. Now, I have my link tree linked to my cyruswebb.com. So I have website type company, but it does give you a drop down as to blog or whatever this is. But my cyruswebb.com redirects to my link tree. Okay. Then I have the Conversations Live blog there. Okay. Then we can hit save there. So the main thing here is to keep in mind, make sure that you have your profile updated. Okay. And that means, again, making sure you have a picture of you as your profile picture, your most current title of what it is that you want to be recognized for, and then, of course, your contact information, making sure all of that is there as well. Okay? All right. Any questions there? Let's see. Todd says, please show again about your link tree. Yeah. So, Todd's, okay, so if I go back under the edit, you see where it says here under, let's see, where is it? Under contact info. Okay. So after you go through and check your basic name and everything, you'll see where it says contact info. click on Edit Contact Info. And that's where it has your LinkedIn URL, your email, your phone number, and then it has website. Now I have my link tree forwarded to cyrusweb.com. So when you go to cyrusweb.com, that takes you to my link tree. Okay. So that's where I have that put. Now you can just put your link tree there. You don't have to have a domain forwarding. You can just put your link tree there and then put other. Or even portfolio. Portfolio would work there as well as a type. Okay. Okay. Any questions on that part? Any questions on that part, everybody? Okay. All right. So we've already covered 3 of the 7 posts already. That is, make your intent clear. We talked about considering creator mode and the benefits of that. And we talked about setting up your profile for success. Midnight's Book Bar says, can you show again about the profile for creators? Sure. So I'm going to share my screen again, guys, for you. Go back to my LinkedIn. Now, keep in mind, Midnight's Book Bar, this is going to be under, if you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor there, but it's when you go to me, where it says home. Now, again, keep in mind, I'm doing this on my desktop as well. Now, and I have that's an important thing too as we get into point number 7. But go to me and then go to view profile. Okay, that's where you'll find it, view profile. When you go to view profile, you're going to scroll down under analytics. That's where you're going to see resources, and that's where you'll turn your creator mode on and off. And notice what it says there, get discovered. See, that helps people to find you, showcase content on your profile, and get access to creator. And so I already have mine there, so I'm already in it. Okay. But that's where it is underneath the resources. Okay. All right, good. All right. Any questions so far before we move on to engagement strategy? Any questions so far before I move on? Feel free to put those in the chat. You have anything about, we're going to go ahead and cover points 4 and 5, actually, engagement strategy and posting strategy. Now, if I had to guess, all of you probably taking this class are better at posting than engaging. I could be wrong. But if I had to guess, typically when I'm teaching a class like this, more people are posting than they are engaging. So if you've taken my classes before, you know the difference. Posting is that you're showing up by sharing content. Engaging is that you are interacting with other people's content. So what you want to do is you want to find a sweet spot there. LinkedIn wants it to be, and I want you to hear this, LinkedIn wants it to be a 50-50 split, which means they do not want you posting more than you are engaging, which is why, again, you'll notice with me, I do at the most 2 posts on LinkedIn a day, unless it's something where I'm going live or sharing some content that's, for like the radio show, that kind of thing. And even with that, I'm still engaging because I am tagging my guest, responding to comments, that kind of thing. All right. So keep in mind when it comes to your engagement strategy and your posting strategy. Remember I said to you guys earlier, my posting strategy is I post Monday through Friday on LinkedIn. Now, the type of content I post on LinkedIn is my Conversations Daily News, because that fits the audience I'm building on LinkedIn. I do not post I do not post anything motivational on LinkedIn. That is not the audience I have there. I have that audience on Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. I do not have an inspirational, motivational audience on LinkedIn. Okay, that's not why they follow me on LinkedIn. They follow me on LinkedIn because of the radio show, the Amazon Live show, my on-camera things. That's what they follow me for. So that's the type of content I give them. So again, you need to know, okay, what type of content is my audience following me for? And like I mentioned earlier, looking at your insights for every post, and LinkedIn lets you see it, you have to be honest with yourself and say, yeah, I'm making this post over here, but do people even care? And if you're not getting any engagement, the answer is no, which means you don't need to be posting it. And that sounds ugly, but it's the truth. And you're also saving yourself time for posting content that your audience there doesn't care about. Okay? So that's the first thing. Find a posting schedule and strategy that works for you. I would guarantee from most of you, unless you are hosting a show 5 days a week, you have something live going on 5 days a week, most of you should not be posting 5 days a week. You just shouldn't be. And the reason why I say that is because most of you, if it's not something that is timely, it does not fit the audience of LinkedIn. Okay? So unless you have something going on 5 days a week or 7 days a week, you should not be posting 5-7 days a week. You're not helping yourself. However, you should be engaging. Again, keep in mind what LinkedIn would like. They want a 50-50 split. If you're going to be posting 2 to 3 times a week, they want you to be engaging 2 or 3 times a week as well, which means going on other people's comments. And for them, engagement is threefold on LinkedIn, just to let you guys know. 1, giving a thumbs up, heart, that kind of thing. That's a form of engagement on LinkedIn. 2nd, sharing the post without your thoughts. That's a form of engagement of LinkedIn. 3rd, and you notice a lot more of the platforms are doing this now, sharing a post from some other creator and adding your thoughts to it. Okay. Todd says, for my contact info, I can only have 3 items. Which 3 do you recommend? My YouTube channel, website. I would say, Todd, it should be your YouTube channel, your Linktree, and your Facebook page. Most people are not going to websites. And that goes to everybody. Let's be honest. How many of you actually go to people's websites? We don't do it. We don't. So YouTube, yes. Everyone goes to YouTube. Everyone goes to Linktree. Everyone goes to Facebook. People are not going to websites. And think about your own habits. I haven't been to a website all weekend. There's nobody's website I've been on. So think about that when it comes to yourself and your own posting habits as well, as to what would best work. Okay. Any questions about the posting strategy versus the engagement strategy and how you need to work together with those on LinkedIn? I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Most of you, Taz, that's a personal thing. I wouldn't dare tell you no. I wouldn't tell you no. But let's be honest. And this is, again, a question for everybody. What would you say gets more attention? I don't have a website. I don't have a Cyrus Web. CyrusWeb.com goes to my Linktree, which is all my social media, because that's where my people are. If I had a website, I mean, I don't see how a website designated from me would help me. So I would not tell people, that they don't get it. I mean, it's not it. So I wouldn't tell people not to have them. But even my celebrity client friends, they have websites they don't even update. I mean, they don't even update. They have them there, but they're not even being updated. So I mean, they don't. Unfortunately, and this is a lot of people are not going to like to hear this, but websites. This is going to sound really bad, actually, but it's the truth. I think most people know this. Websites and email lists are on the way out. They just are. People are not. I check email all throughout the day, but think about it. Most people are not checking email. They don't do it. They tell you to DM them, right? To DM me. How many times have you watched a video that someone says, email me? No, they're telling you to DM me. But I mean, it's just the way that we are. And it's because people like the convenience of, and even LinkedIn, quite honestly, I'm not talking about it in this particular class, but LinkedIn is really pushing DMs. Now, granted, They are trying to keep people from doing. We all get them. I get them myself. I don't send them, but people, that you connect with someone. The first thing, oh, how would you like to set up a call? They're trying to weed those out, those automatic DMs that you get on LinkedIn. But it's just the truth. People are not checking emails. Again, I check emails, but I'm a weird breed. Most people are not. If you notice, even for these celebrities, they will tell you, send me a DM. I mean, it is just the way we're going because they like the convenience of everything being in one place. So I would never tell people not to have a website. I would never tell people not to have an email list or to try to gather emails. But these days, let's be honest, if you tell someone, I'm going to give you something free if you email, they already know you're just trying to send them stuff. Yeah, they already know. They already know you're trying to get them into a funnel system of something. So they're not interested. Which is why, again, and I know you guys have all seen this if you're on Instagram, people will say, if you'd like a free PDF, DM me, I'll send it to you. That is just that's the way the world is going. Everyone is getting everything through social media. I would tell you that most of my interview requests and things these days, I would say over half of them come through DMs. That's just the way it is. Okay. All right. But I do, before I move on, guys, I do want to make sure we're all on the same page about the posting strategy and engagement strategy, and make sure that in order to get the most out of LinkedIn today in 2024, that you are engaging just as much as you are posting. LinkedIn now, unfortunately, or however you want to look at it, LinkedIn now believes that if you are posting more than you are engaging, you are probably spamming. Now, that probably is not true for most of you, but that's the way they're going to start thinking about it. That if you are posting more than you actually are connecting, you're missing the whole point of LinkedIn anyway. The whole point is to link up. That's the point. Not just for you to be spouting stuff out, but for you to be going and engaging with other people. Because that's going to then help you to grow your network that's on LinkedIn. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you are engaging just as much as you are posting. And again, keep in mind that unless you have something going on 5-7 days a week, you probably should not be posting 5-7 days a week. And I promise you this: if you look at your engagement is already telling you that. You're just not listening. If your engagement is telling you you're only getting a small percentage of engagement on a post, that's the algorithm telling you we are not showing this to people because people are not interested. So you have to think about working smarter and not just saying, I checked off a box, I posted here, which is why, again, I don't post on LinkedIn 7 days a week, which is why on LinkedIn, I do not share my motivational messages. I know my audience there does not care. I'm okay with that. But I also don't waste my time in posting it there knowing it's not going to do anything. I post it where I know it is going to do something. I know it's going to do something on Facebook. I know it's going to do something on LinkedIn. I'm sorry, on Instagram. I know it's going to do something on Twitter. So that's where I post my motivational messages. I do not post any motivational material on LinkedIn whatsoever because there they only see me as an authority. They probably even know I have a book, to be quite honest with you, because they don't care. They're not thinking about. Notice I don't have author in my title. They don't care I'm an author. That's not what that's not what people connect with me on LinkedIn. Most people who connect with me on LinkedIn are connecting with me because of the radio show or the Amazon platform. Okay. Any questions about that part before we go into our next part here? Okay. All right. So let's talk about harnessing the power of video and articles. Now, some people are not going to like what I'm about to say. But again, we talk about this all the time. And that is the platforms are telling you what they want you to do. So I'm going to share my screen again for you guys. Okay. So you go to LinkedIn. And again, this is on my desktop, guys. So go to LinkedIn, and it's going to give you your running total here. Okay. Typically, this is 48 to 72 hours. So you can see my profile viewers are 105. My post impressions are 427. Now you may say, why is there such a gap there? That's because my posts do very well as far as engagement goes, but I don't get a lot of new people. See, here again, here's the point, especially on weekends. Now, during the week, that my profile viewers will be up. So looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, this number will be a lot higher, and this number will be a lot higher. But this kind of gives you an idea of what your impressions are doing within 48 to 72 hours. But again, keep in mind, I'm not doing posting on LinkedIn on weekends. So the fact that it's even this high is really good. Okay. But let's say, what type of post should you be doing on LinkedIn? That's what we're going to talk about next with video and articles. And like I said, some of you are going to like this, some of you will not. But I'm only trying to help you to know how you can best grow. Okay? When you go to do a post on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is telling you what type of post they want you to do. Can you guess? Look, media, job, or write an article. They're letting you know what they are prioritizing: media, job, and article. Now, under media, you have two options here. You can do pictures or you can do video, which most of you know. Let me tell you, though, what type of video you should be doing. One, you should make sure that you are somewhere in the video. Because again, LinkedIn is all about connecting. So you should be somewhere in the information. Now, you may be asking, what type of video should it be? I'm going to give you 3 different types of ways that all of you taking this class can benefit from. Here are 3 different types of videos you can be posting on LinkedIn. 1, information. Information. Midnight is Book Bar, you come to mind right away. Here are some book suggestions for you during Women's History Month. And then sharing those. That's an informational post. Ties. It can be for you. Here's an example of a recipe you can do, quickly and on the go. Something, again, that can pick up attention. Melissa, I saw you in here as well. Here are some tips when planning your next event. Dawn Marie Westmoreland, I saw you here. I know you're into workplace discrimination. Here are some tips you need to know about how to stay safe in the workplace. That's the type of informational video you should be doing. Okay. Now, it does not have to be live. Now, keep in mind this, Instagram has not changed this yet. It may change later this year. You can upload up to a 9-minute video, or you can do a LinkedIn Live. I keep wanting to interchange Instagram and LinkedIn today, but you can upload up to a 9-minute video, or you can do a live on LinkedIn. I would not recommend most of you do a live on LinkedIn. I would recommend most of you upload a video. I would not recommend you make it 9 minutes either. I would recommend you make it just as long as it needs to be to share the information. Now, here's where you need to be careful, though. Talking about an information video, then this is the first one we're talking about. Make sure that you are saying your name, or that your name is somewhere on the screen. You're giving the tips, and you actually have the words either as a caption on the video or in the description with the video in the post, and that you remind people to make sure to follow you for more tips. Keep in mind, people can follow you on LinkedIn. So invite them with a call to action. We've been talking about that a lot lately. Give a call to action to follow me for more tips. And you can even have your information for them to contact you if you'd like to do that as well. Okay? That's an informational type. The second type of video that you could want to be able to share is you in action. Now, why is that important? Because someone who's looking for a speaker will be able to see you speaking. Maybe you're talking about a topic. Now, this is different than what I mentioned earlier, because before you were sharing tips. If they're just seeing you speak, like it could be a clip of you during an interview. It'd be a clip of you talking about a topic. In that, there would not be a call to action in the actual video, but there will be information in the actual caption of the post saying, if you're looking for a speaker to talk about this, if you're looking for a guest, see, for other podcasts, for other radio, other media, if you're looking for a guest to talk about this topic, feel free to reach out to me. Okay? So we have information, and then we have the authoritative piece I just talked about. The third one is letting you shine with your product or service. Hello, I am such and such. I am a motivational speaker, author, consultant. If you're looking for someone to do X, Y, or Z, here are some reasons why I should be on your list to consider. And then naming basically who you are. So basically, that video is a type of visual resume. You're talking directly to the audience that's on LinkedIn, letting them know who you are, what you're able to talk about, and then letting them know how to contact you. Okay? Those are the 3 types of content in video. And again, all of those can be recorded. You don't have to do any of those live. But those 3 types of content will let people know, okay, this is what this person is good at. They're giving tips. I want to share these tips with my audience. See, that builds engagement. The second type is, okay, this is someone, if I'm looking for a good speaker, this is someone, let me share this with my team. That's that type of content to engage with. The third one, oh, wow, I know such and such is looking for someone to talk about that particular topic, women empowerment, abuse survivor. Then, oh, I need to be able to share that. So that's what you want to do, is create content that will let you shine, let what your area of expertise is shine, but also be able to let people know why you should be someone that they consider. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense for you. Now, the other thing is writing an article. And you guys have known, I've been talking about this for quite some time. Writing an article. Write an article. And it can be just like we just talked about. Here are some tips for workplace safety. Here are some recipes or some items to be able to pack with you on the go. And it could be something like cranberries or peanuts, something to give you protein. There's all kinds of things you can be able to do, write an article about. Doesn't have to be long, but something to be able to show your authority for who you are. And then to give that content as well. Okay, let's see. Facebook user says, break down what are impressions, please. Okay, impressions are the people who are actually engaging with your content. So sometimes you will have an account that may not even be connected with you, may come in contact with you because someone shared something you did, or they may have been recommended by someone. Because you know how you will get those suggestions, like, you may like this person may be someone to put in your network. That's the thing about impressions. Facebook user says, why not do a live link? Okay, so let me tell you why not to do a live. And this is an honest answer, and you can feel free to disagree with me. Most people don't do the necessary planning to do a live, because doing a live requires a lot of planning. Let me tell you what I mean by that. You need to set up an event. And let me share my screen with you. Again, the reason why I'm saying to record and to upload, because it's a lot easier and there's a lot less steps for you. So if you go to my account, notice this. I'm already scheduling, look at my page. I'm already scheduling events for, let me go to my post. Look at this. So this interview is coming up on March the 11th. So see, I set up an event here on LinkedIn. Here's one coming up on March the 8th. Here's one coming up tomorrow. So as you can see, the thing is, when it comes to a live, you have to do a lot of planning. You have to make sure you have a thumbnail for that live. You want to go ahead and schedule the live inside of LinkedIn. You want to go ahead and make sure you have the right keyword set up for when you're doing that particular event. So it's more than just going on LinkedIn and going live. It's doing the work necessary to let people know about it. Okay. So, that's why I tell people don't worry about doing a live per se, because a live requires a whole lot more work. The worst thing that can happen for you on LinkedIn is for you just to go live without any planning, without even promoting you're going live, and then you're sitting there talking to yourself. Because what is the purpose of you being live if no one is there? If no one is there, you're not talking to anybody. So that's why I recommend doing the recording, because there you can be able just to share the information and not worrying about if someone is watching you or not. All right. Great question, though. The next question says, what tool are you using to get a clip put of a video? Okay, great. So there's a few options to be able to use. Let me say this. And this is really cool, actually. Most of you can do this on your phone. Record on your phone. You can do your editing on your phone and then just uploading it to LinkedIn on your phone. Or you can record on your phone, upload it to LinkedIn from your phone, and LinkedIn now actually lets you edit the video once you post it. Let me show you an example. I meant to do this purposely for you guys to be able to see. So I went live. Okay, this is a video. I went live. This is with the Dr. Taz. Okay, so I'm going to go into this particular post. Am I sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. Let me share my screen with you guys. So this is where I went live with Dr. Taz last week. That's what you guys are seeing now. Okay, so I'm going to go to edit the post. Okay, this is Dr. Taz here. Now, once the live is done, look at that. I can go in there and actually tag Dr. Taz in it. But notice what I can do to the video. As you can see, there's a countdown clock here. I can literally be able to go in and to edit this to take the countdown clock out. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to save that. Right now, tag Dr. Taz there, as you can see. Okay. Then I'm going to click on the actual event. So now I've clicked on the event and see it says edit video right there. See that? Now I can actually trim out the countdown so people don't have to sit through the countdown clock. You can literally do that after it's been posted. So I'm going to go ahead and click and trim. It's trimming the video. All this is real time while we're talking. It's done. So now people only have to sit through 4 seconds. It's a whole lot easier for them than having to sit down the whole thing. So again, you're able to do all of that directly from here. See this? See, just by moving this alone. Now my countdowns are typically 90 seconds. Let me show you again here. And I have my captions on for this, but you don't have to have captions on for yours. Let me trim just that very end part. Watch this. Now I've trimmed right at the 0 mark. So now there's nothing. So when I hit the play, it goes right into the video now. So now it's at 0. And hello everyone, and so now anyone who goes to watch the video now won't have to sit through any of the countdown. So you can do all of that directly through LinkedIn. So if you have uploaded a video, you can literally edit it in LinkedIn before you actually post it. Okay. Stop sharing my screen there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Midnight Ace Book Bar says, can you upload a live to LinkedIn? Now, Midnight Ace Book Bar, you ask a really good question. So let me throw a caveat into what Facebook user asked me. Facebook user asked me why not do a live on LinkedIn. Now, Facebook Live user, let me say this. If the advice I give you stands if you're only doing a live on LinkedIn. However, Midnight Ace Book Bar is asking, can you upload a live to LinkedIn? Now, here's the thing. Midnight Ace Book Bar, you use StreamYard just like I'm using StreamYard right now. You can simulcast your, and you may do this already, Midnight Ace Book Bar. I don't know this. You can let me know. you can simulcast your live onto LinkedIn. Okay, you can do that. And then you don't have to, because then if you do it through StreamYard, StreamYard's going to automatically set up an event for you on LinkedIn anyway. So Facebook user, what I was saying earlier about setting up an event and everything, if you're using a third-party software like what I'm using for this training, which is StreamYard, you can set all that up in StreamYard and have it set up for you for LinkedIn. So Midnight's Book Bar, keep in mind what I said. As far as uploading a live to LinkedIn, it limits you to 9 minutes. So no, if your live is more than 9 minutes, you cannot upload it to LinkedIn. You can stream live on LinkedIn, and it can be as long as you want it to be. But as far as uploading a live to LinkedIn, again, as I mentioned earlier, it can only be up to 9 minutes. Okay? And that could change, but that's what it is as of right now. All right, guys, and that's our 7 points. So we covered how to make your intent clear, how to set up your profile for success, how to consider creator mode and the benefits of that. We talked about that and showed you guys that. Your engagement strategy versus your posting strategy. What is your strategy for yourself and those you're connecting with? But also harnessing the power of videos and article as well. Midnight's Book Bar says, not yet. I think I need to have more followers. Midnight's Book Bar, message me after the training. I want to make sure I understand what you mean by that. I'm not sure what you mean by I need to have more followers. Because now LinkedIn has opened up live streaming to everybody. It used to be you had to have a certain amount to be invited, but now it's open to everybody. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying there. If you have your account set to creator, you can. Everyone now can do live streaming on LinkedIn. Facebook user says, great class, learn some good ideas. Say, oh, you're more than welcome. I'm glad it was helpful. Any last thoughts, guys? This was I enjoyed this as well. This is the first class I've done where I've had it for only one platform, but as you can see, there's a lot to cover here. But let me go ahead and tell you guys while you're typing your last questions what our classes for March are going to be. Next week, I have my new influencer class, which I'm very excited about. That's going to be on Sunday, March the 3rd. On how to be able, again, with all these new things that are out there. And keep in mind, this is not an affiliate class. This is influencer. So again, the type of content to be able to post, how to be able to use sites like LinkedIn. We're going to talk about that in the class. How to use Facebook, how to use Instagram, how to use Twitter, connecting with brands, some of the new brand things that are there as well. That class is coming up for the influencers on Sunday, March the 3rd. That class is $97. Then we have, this is a class that was brought to me by demand. People asked me to do a class on podcasting, what podcasting platforms to use, how to be able to get guests for your podcast, how to be able to get paid guests for your podcast, how to get celebrity guests for your podcast, how to reach out to publicists and management. We're going to be covering that in the class on Sunday, March the 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Now, each class is $97. If you pay for both classes, it's $150, just like it always is. I'm going to be making the graphic and posting that up for Monday. But I wanted to let you guys know today about the 2 classes that are coming up for March. Again, on next Sunday, that is our influencer class. Again, showing you how to use LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to be able to connect with brands, build your audience. Again, this is influencer, not affiliate. So we're not going to be talking about affiliate marketing in this class. This is only for the influencer side, okay? And then we have on March the 10th, that is our Podcasting for Success class, what platforms to use for podcasting, how to be able to get your guests, how to get paid guests, how to be able to get advertisers. We'll be talking about that in the class as well. If you're looking to do celebrity interviews, how to be able to do that. That's what we're going to be sharing in the class on March the 10th. Again, the classes are $97, or you get both classes for $150. So again, let's see. Midnight's Book Bar says, okay, I will try it again on my next live. I just said it to creator. Okay, good. And if you have any questions, let me know. Midnight's Book Bar, just let me know. But again, hope you guys found this helpful. Hope this will help you to better use LinkedIn. If you did not get anything else out of this class, I hope you got the tough love I gave you, that most of you do not need to be posting on LinkedIn as much as you are. And again, your engagement probably is telling you that, but you just have gotten to the habit of doing it. You could save that energy. Because as I mentioned, if you do not have something going on 3, 5, 7 days a week, there's no need for you to be posting 3, 5, 7 days a week. Because again, LinkedIn is the only platform that I know of that wants you to be engaging just as much as you are posting. And if you are not going to take out time to engage with as many people as you're posting, then you're wasting your time because they're not going to promote you. Let's see. Teresa says this is great. Thank you so much for that, Taz. I appreciate that. Minae's Bookbar says, what is your thoughts on podcast versus live? We're going to be covering that in the class next month. Minae's Bookbar. And then she says, thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. So again, guys, hope you've enjoyed this class. You guys will have access to the replay of this. So feel free to be able to take advantage of that through this week before we switch things over. If you guys would like a replay of this class, direct message me and I will send you guys a link to the replay, okay? Because you guys will lose access to the group on the 28th. So keep that in mind. So you'll have a few more days inside the group before we get ready for the March classes. Thank you for that, Melissa. Appreciate that. All right, guys. Again, appreciate you guys. Happy posting and engaging on LinkedIn, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.